your bag. Okay, basically it's pretty simple. First of all, you gotta be professional. Easy to carry your documents if you have a carrying case. Say in that one day, I have several different types of cases. I have this thing, which you probably won't carry on.
No.
I have the roller bag, which comes in handy. If you have about, say, 5, 6 closings, or 3 closings, or several closings. And then there's this other thing called a messenger bag. I thought I brought it out here, but I don't see it. And it just goes over your shoulder. We got it from National Notary. But almost any bag that you can carry your stuff, like your notebook file there, where you have all that stuff in.
This bag?
Yeah, you're gonna need, because you could have, how many closings have you had in one bag in one day? Like 3, 4? And you can have all your paperwork for all those closings. But what I make it a point to do when I go into the closing, I only take that one package. I leave the rest of them in the car. Okay? Then you're gonna need a FedEx and a UPS packing. You're gonna need these guys in your bag, or at least in your car. So, because say if a title company or a realtor or whatever calls you to do a closing, when you're done with that closing, you take that package with you. Especially a real estate office, you take the package with you. You don't leave it with the realtor. You don't leave it at their office, because once they hand it to you and it becomes your property. So you take it to either UPS or FedEx. So make sure you get, and they're free. So go by all the UPS and FedEx places and get some of these and put a whole lot of them in your car. Okay? Those are very important. Printable UPS, or sometimes you have to write out the label. So in those drop boxes, in the drop boxes they have these supplies. If you lift the top. So get the printable labels. So sometimes you have to write them. They all have a sticky back. So if you don't have that little thing there, if you have to print it out, you have the sticky backs. If all else fails, just get you some plain old tape. Like I have a thing of tape that I keep in my car. Because one time I did a closing and I needed to drop off the package, and I saw the UPS guy, he just took tape and just taped the label to it. It works. So you can take the label to that package if you have to. You just gotta improvise. You need an umbrella. Here in Florida, you really do need an umbrella. If you don't care about you getting wet, that's all well and good. Don't get docks wet. Docks get wet, they're no good. Make sure that you have a laser printer, not just a printer. Inkjet will not do. It has to be a laser printer, period. A lot of ours are Brothers, but any laser printer, but it has to be black, okay? You need some legal size envelopes for just, if you don't have a legal size envelope, get some extra UPS, FedExes. So when you get to borrow their package, you don't want it wet, or you want to keep them separate. Or if you have to send something back and you don't have their label, you can put your label on that. If you're going to do the thing about what I told you about the notary thing, you need a receipt book. You need a notary receipt book. Any receipt book will do, but at National Notary, they actually have a specific beat-up receipt book. Their receipt book it says for notary services. And you can really write out exactly what you did and give the person a receipt. Because if you're going to do a lot of notary work, even if you're just going to do any, you really do need a receipt book.
You have to get one like that from them, or you can just get a receipt
get a
book?
receipt
Just
book.
a general receipt book?
Right, just as long as you put the information. This one's a better one because it actually gives you a nice little receipt that says notary services. They're numbered. This is you very rarely use it, but training, whatever you do, it's a nice looking receipt.
Are all these things you get just from that one site, from the corporation in California? Can you get them other places? Oh wow, I found that for $5 cheaper or whatever.
It's up to you. It's I don't
No,
care where you
no.
get it
Are there other places to get things like that?
from. Yes. There's quite a few of them. Just look up notary supplies online. and everybody will give you their prices. I stick with National Notary, just because I am a part of National Notary. National Notary is a little more expensive than some companies, but they're better. But that's just my opinion. But their journal is the one that's real important also, so you're gonna have their journal rather than someone else's, because you need a privacy guard, and we'll go over that also. And I told you already the tape. Those are just some of the things that you need in your bag. Okay,
stapler?
you need, sorry. We need 6 to 8 black and blue pens. You wanna have at least 6. I've actually had closings where there were 6 people at the closing. The husband, the wife, his parents, and her parents, and they all were signing. So you gotta get and the cheap pens are fine. You need 6 to 8 of each color, blue and black. I usually keep 8, just in case. You need a stapler and a staple remover. And you need 2 notary stamps. The reason you need 2, there's nothing worse than running out of ink. Your stamp running out of ink at a closing, and you don't have a second stamp. Because they do dry out. There's nothing worse than it drying out, and you don't have a second stamp. Plus, you need a small one, and you need the big monster that they give you. You can have 2 small ones if you did, that would be fine. But, because some areas you can't use the big one, so you need the small one anyway. So your second one, just get a small one. Business cards. You never know, like he said, where you're gonna get more notary business, so you need your notary business cards. It's part of your tools. You need the ink pad, if you haven't gotten one. Florida's not a mandatory state for the thumbprint, but it is highly suggested. And it's a real good practice. If you're doing the thumbprint and a person refuses to do the thumbprint, it's no problem at all. You thank them, you keep it going. Because they don't, the thumbprint is not mandatory. It is just highly suggested. If you're a part of CynANotary, you need brochures. If you're making your own, you can have brochures. You need a mini ruler, and that's not just a suggestion. Because every once in a while, you're going to have something where they don't have a signature line for the borrower or witness. Because you got to know the mortgages need 2 witnesses. You can do one of them. But every once in a while, you'll see it and it does not have a witness line. But it has to be on there. That's one of the things of knowing Florida law. Because if you send it back and you didn't get the witness, you will send it back. And it will say, even though they didn't put the line on there, you should have known that as a Florida notary.
And you line it with black. You do sign it with blue ink. Make sure the line is a black ink line.
And the word, when you put witness under it, you put black letters. You need a rescission calendar. Anybody know what a rescission calendar is? Anybody don't know what a rescission calendar is? Looks like this. It tells you, like we're doing the closing today, it shows you when it is. We have them, we can just make you more copies or whatever you need to have. Explanation of certification documents. In your file, we'll give you these various docs. It just tells you what they are, but in your book there, it has the documents. In your folder, you need to have your certifications. Every once in a while, you will go to do something for a lawyer, and they want you to prove that you're a notary. They want you to prove that you're certified. So in here, I have all my certifications, and I have quite a few of them. Everything that they had that I could take, I took it. I'm a trusted notary, I'm a notary signing agent, I'm a TIA, whatever they had, I took it. Because I knew this was going to be my major business. You need a filled out W-9. Because when companies, once you've done work for them over $600, up to $600, they gotta have a W-9. You have to have and do everybody have a tax ID number? You have a tax ID number, Mark?
Yes, I
You need to get one. You?
What is that number you call again to get the tax ID? Did you just call that?
It's online. It's irs.gov. It's free, and you just sign up and they give you the number right then. The reason that is mandatory is because some companies will not give you work without a tax ID number. Because your social security is too easy for people to get and start a new you. With your tax ID number, it's just.
I thought you had to have an LLC or a corporate,
Not
tax
true.
ID.
Not true. Anybody can get a tax ID number.
Didn't know that.
Anybody. If you got a social, you can get a tax ID number. So. Okay, instructions on how to fill out acknowledgements. We're gonna have that. And a summary of the loan documents, that's in there. And, this in here is just telling you what's at the beginning of it. Now we're gonna go to where we have it broken down. Okay, you need some acknowledgement forms. When you got your package, you should have gotten some. Should have gotten a whole lot of these acknowledgements.
So many things I didn't get.
Acknowledgement of jurat.
In the box that was sent
You have to
from
purchase.
them?
You have to
Oh,
purchase
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
it's purchase,
yeah.
Oh.
So it depends
I'll
on
just
which
give you- I'll
package
just
you
give you-
signed up
we
for.
We didn't know what to purchase, so now we know.
Lord.
I got it all.
We can give you a few,
Yeah,
because what happens is, sometimes you will have someone want something notarized and there is no notarial wording. You cannot notarize if there's no notarial wording. That's when you're gonna have the acknowledgement. You attach it to that doc. And you need your, I call it a gripper.
Embosser.
You need the embosser if you do that also, because that keeps them from taking that acknowledgement and putting it on something else. Anybody have their embosser?
Mm-hmm. Not with me, but yes.
So we have to get that, the notice.
You don't have to have that. I mean, you don't do these that often. When you do it for a mortgage, you're just acknowledging, because say the husband signed up in Jump Off, Georgia, then the wife had to sign here in Florida. The mortgage only has one notarization area. So now you gotta add an acknowledgement that you acknowledge him signing that also. Notary cannot, two notaries cannot have two different stamps unless they have the wording for it, the notarial wording for each notary. So that's what these are for. But there's quite a few of them, like this here, if you certify a photocopy, that's a different one. They have different acknowledgements. This one here is for partnership acknowledgement. And you don't have to get these. These, I'll just give you a couple of these if you want these, because I haven't, and I haven't used any of them.
and also I think the NNA has that for downloadable now. So to answer your question about why you want to be a member, if you go on the site, they have all the acknowledgements now online for you to download. I saw it, I think it came in an email last week sometime.
I can give you several of these, or you can download them. They're copy, I mean, you can Xerox it, it's not a big deal. Okay, but there's forms for, this is if you were representing a public officer, say a police officer needed something notarized. There's a specific acknowledgement for him. Attorney of fact, AIF. There are acknowledgements for all of those. I only have all of these because of a company, you don't need these. What about if somebody signs with an X? You have to actually put an acknowledgement. So we can get their thumbprint. And then somebody with a disability that can't sign, or whatever. So
Attorney in fact is the same as both, right?
it's, yeah, it's the same thing. It's just used different times, but yeah, it's basically the same thing. And the next one just shows you an acknowledgement, what it looks like. Then a jurat. Do you know the difference between a jurat and an acknowledgement?
You just
That's
need to
right.
swear and affirm that the information is true, right?
And which one is that one?
The jurat.
Yes. Just like it sounds, like a jury. They're swearing to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, that's a jurat. But the acknowledgement is what? Just acknowledging that you saw it, sign it. Because when you're doing a mortgage, you're doing acknowledgement when you're signing a mortgage. Okay, that was a quick one. That was a quick one. We still have the next session